Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to find the average rate of change of the function f of x is equal to 1 over x plus 7 on the interval from 1 minus h to 1. So finding the average rate of change is basically the same thing as finding the slope of the line that passes through 2 points on a function. So we need to find x values and y values. So we have our x values. This is our x1 and our x2. What we need to do is find our corresponding y values so that we can find the slope. If I plug in to find my corresponding y value of 1 minus h, if I plug in 1 minus h in here to find my corresponding y value, I would have 1 over minus h plus 8. For my x value, x2, to find my corresponding value of 1 for y, I plug in 1 here and I get 1 over 8. Then my next step is to find the change in my y's over the change in my x's. So I take my y2 minus my y1 over my x2 minus my x1. Now this becomes a plus because I'm subtracting 1 and I'm subtracting negative h, so I got to make sure that I distribute that negative, and that double negative would make it a positive. So when I clean up the denominator a little bit, I get 1 minus 1 is 0, so I'm left with just h downstairs. But now I have to clear my complex fractions. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 8 times 8 minus h. When I do that, when I take 1/8 times this, I get 8 minus h. When I take this times this, I get minus 8. When I take this times this, I get 8h times 8 minus h. On top, I have an 8 minus 8. I can get rid of that, so I have a minus h on top. On the bottom, I can distribute the 8h, so that would give me an 8h times 8. That gives me a 64h. And then I have an 8h times a negative h. That gives me a minus 8h squared. Then my last step is I can factor out an h everywhere and finish simplifying. So I'm left with minus 1 over 64 minus 8h. Because I cross out an h everywhere, I factored it out and divided it. So my average rate of change for the function 1 over x plus 7 on the interval from 1 minus h to 1 is negative 1 over 64 minus 8h.